And then I become the sacrifice gift. Remember that? Y'all remember that? Good. Here's what he says. He says, when you understand the mercies of God, the first thing you want to do is sacrifice yourself. And this is the most logical, thought-provoking way to worship. I need to stay here for a minute. He says, you have to be reasonable. This is your most logical liturgy. We know liturgy, Doc. Bishop taught us liturgy well. Liturgy, my system of worship, it has to be to the point where I understand who and what I'm worshiping. So when I come to church on Sabbath morning, I ain't just going through the motions. When I come to church on Sunday morning, fellas, I ain't just doing it because you told me. I've actually had time to think and reflect and go back on what God has done and go back on what God has said to me this week. So when I come to worship, Billy, I know exactly. All right, you having problems with it. St. John chapter 4. Sir, our father said this mountain is a place we should worship. Jesus said to her, you don't even know what you're worshiping. Tell somebody you don't even have a clue. You don't even have a clue. You stand at this level right here. And God is saying, I got so much more for you. Paul says, be reasonable. Have a level of worship that's not just emotional. Okay, I seem to have to walk this through real slow. Not a problem. He says, Toria, have a level of worship that you understand, that makes it effective. Don't just do it because you saw your, look here. And it's cute now, it's trendy. Tap your neighbor and say this, touch your neighbor and say that. But sometimes, honey, God gets to speaking to me, don't touch me, don't talk to me. I need to get, I don't need you to turn around 3 times. I don't need you to give 4 people a high five. I don't need you to touch me, slap me, punch me. God is speaking to me and I'm trying to get it. Yes, indeed. Yes. Tell somebody be reasonable. He says, put your mind into this. The logical response to God's mercy in your life, logically, is worship. It just makes sense. I guess you're getting it. Watch it. First of all, he says, be reasonable. Number 2, he says, be transformable. Say it, transformable. Come here, it's in the text. Be not conformed, my God, to this world. Oh, God. See right there. What are you saying right there? Get away from systematic thought. Jesus, if I had a little help. Trace, if I had a little help, dog. If I had a little help, Trace. Get away from the system. Okay, great job. Ooh, rough piece of meat up in here. Get away from status quo. Stop trying to follow a pattern. All right, let me mess with this. Uncle Ted, conform is a good word because the Greek word is where we get our word schematic. Okay. Come on, Ted. Come on, Arlen. Those of you that fix stuff. What a schematic does, Trace, is tell me what goes where. Ooh, it's quiet. What a schematic does is tell me direction to take. What is he saying? He says stop following diagrams. That's good. That's good. That is good. Stop trying to play it safe. Ooh, this must be painful because y'all ain't saying Nathan. He says, stop. Ruby, he says, stop. You are much more anointed than that. Why are you trying to color in the lines? You're following somebody else's diagram. You got me in my high voice now, y'all. Paul said, quit trying to let other people tell you where you're supposed to be with your life and with your ministry and with your destiny when you know I'm speaking to your spirit much more profound than that. He said, be transformable. Be reasonable. And now that you understand, he said, now allow yourself to be transformable. Do not follow the schematic. Watch this, watch this. But allow yourself to go through a metamorphosis. All right, now that's right. All right, good. Watch this now, watch this. That's what he says. He says, there is an inner voice. Ooh, this is getting deep about a minute. He says, there is this inner voice in your spirit. God, I thank you. That's dictating to you every day. All right now. Uncle Ted, God showed me this some years ago. He says, you got the easiest job in the world. And I asked him, Pastor, I said, God, what do you mean? And all thy ways acknowledge. Look, I got the directions. All I need you to do is just give me mine. And you're confused because of what? You on the verge of a nervous breakdown because of what? Your account is in the arrears because of what? Did y'all go Catholic and didn't tell me? He says if you reach down to that inner, the part, watch this, where it only makes sense to you. Ooh, it's rough up in here today, Trace. Can I tell you something? Can I tell you the first example where we see metamorphosis, be ye transformed? Jesus was up on the mountain with Peter, James, and John. And they were just walking along, they were talking, and everything was fine. Lord, all of a sudden, Jesus makes this change. His inside became his outside. I'm scared because I ain't never seen y'all this quiet in weeks. When your inside becomes your outside. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. Stay transformable. What do you mean? You have got to allow yourself the ability to live from your inside. Okay, you still ain't got it. You know what Paul is saying, Cynthia, Tracy? Always remain in rapture status. Okay. Tracy, they ain't got it. I got to stay there for another minute. When God comes back to rapture the church, you know what's going to happen, mama? Our insides is going to become our. For this mortal shall put on immortal. Your inside is going to become your outside.